Hey everyone, this is Don Pookie Kloss with another Pookie's Perspective. Week 4 of the NFL, we just got out of week 3. Also, I want to talk a little bit about the White Sox. Now, being a Chicago native, I am a Chicago Cubs fan. But I have a lot of friends that are Chicago White Sox fans. They got eliminated from the playoffs tonight. They had a very, very good season. Borderline great season for when you look at where they've been the last 3 years. They showed a lot of improvement. They did a lot of good things. There's a call for Rick Renteria's head right now in Chicago, and it makes no sense to me. This man has taken a team, this is their records the last 4 years. 67 wins, 62 wins, 72 wins. Big jump there. That's a 10-win jump for a team that was chock full of young guys trying to make a name for themselves. Then you look at this year, 35-25, shortened season, 60 games, but still, that's a nice run for 60 games. But you have these White Sox fans out here bitching and moaning and carrying on about, Rick Renteria doesn't know how to run a pitching staff. Rick Renteria does this wrong. Rick Renteria is a bad manager. And most of it falls into the pitching, which is fine. They want Rick Renteria's head, fire Rick Renteria. Let's see who you could possibly get to replace him. The two guys I can think of that have major league, 3 guys, and maybe 4 if you want to go old. You got Buck Showalter, who I don't think is the option. You have I just lost his name. Angels head coach. He was Angels head coach forever. I don't think he wants to get a job again. I think he's good where he is. Time will tell on that one. You got AJ Hinch and Alex Cora, who, man, I would not want to touch. I don't know if AJ Hinch is a good manager, especially after all that cheating happened, especially after that team comes in this year and looks awful hitting the ball. But we got Rick Renteria. We need to fire him. We'll find someone else. Bring back Ozzie Guillen is the word I am hearing. Bring back Ozzie Guillen. Let me tell you something. Ozzie Guillen took over a winning team. They were a winning team for the 4 years before Ozzie Guillen took over. Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that he took a winning team and then proceeded to keep winning with them. Ozzie Guillen made 2 playoffs and had 5 winning seasons and 8 seasons as White Sox manager. That's a pretty good managerial run. Then he was awful. Let's not forget how bad he was in Miami. But everyone doesn't talk about that. We're in Chicago, where if Mike Ditka was still the head coach of the Bears, we would have 35, 40 Super Bowls at this point, even though the old man doesn't even know what talk show he's on anymore. Fuck that pen, right? Fuck the pen. So, the problem I think is with the White Sox is the pitching coach. You have Don Cooper. He's been there since 2002. In that time span, he has had 4 seasons. 4 seasons, top 5 ERA in the American League. 4 seasons. 2002 to 2020. We're talking about 18 seasons, and 4 of those are top 5 ERAs. Now, everyone talks about, look at the 05 White Sox, the championship White Sox, the luckiest World Series winners of all time. Why? That pitching staff had no business being that good, but they were. They were that good. And granted, when you're that good and you win the World Series, you are World Series champions. But these White Sox fans, man, they're yelling it from the top of the hill how great that 05 team was, 11-1 in the playoffs. They were 11-1 in the playoffs. I can't take that away. Nobody can take that away. But let's look at the numbers here. 2004, winning record. They were a winning team in 04. 4.91 ERA, 10th in the American League, with a 1.419 whip and a 4.87 fielding independent pitching. That's bad. That is a bad pitching staff. World Series year, 3.61 ERA with a 1.254. They were third in the American League in ERA. 1.25 whip, 4.12 fielding independent pitching. So that's saying, boy, that defense was worth half a run on average. Great defense. World Series champions, 11-1 in the playoffs. Amazing year. Let's go to the next year, 2016, 4.61 ERA. We have jumped back up an entire run. 10th, once again. Once again, they were 10th in the American League in ERA with a 4.56 fielding independent pitching, which means that defense wasn't saving nobody that year. That defense couldn't save them that year. And then from there, we have one other season where they're under 4, 2 seasons where they're under 4, 13 and 15, with Chris Sale and Quintana really at the top of their game. And this year, 3.81, 5th. Can't really count this year at times. They had a nice pitching staff this year. They had a phenomenal pitching staff for 60 games. Let's see what they would do with another 100 games. But they got into they got into a lull, especially pitching, especially hitting. Right now, they got into a slump, and it was a bad time to get in the slump. But there it is for you. Not a whole lot you can do with that. Now, if I was the Chicago White Sox, I would fire Don Cooper. I think his track record, you got to think, people have been saying Rick Renteria is not a good handler of a pitching staff. The last 3 years, his pitching staff has pitched to a 4.78, a 4.83, and a 4.90 ERA. That's unacceptable. 13th in the American League, 11th in the American League, and 9th in the American League. That's not good. That's not winning baseball. You can't win with that type of ERA. Now you might be thinking, oh, well, maybe the defense is a little bad. Maybe we had some issues. No, the defense was pretty good. The defense in 2017 saved them half a run almost with a 5.17 fielding independent pitching. That's saying the defense is doing their job extremely efficiently too. I mean, I don't understand what the fuck you're looking for in a manager at this point. Let's get a guy who had a World Series win, because frankly, that pitching staff pitched out of their ass. Let's be real here. That offense was pretty good that year, but that pitching staff pitched out of their ass. And since then, Don Cooper has been riding that to mediocre seasons. 10, 11, 12, 13, 8th, 9th in ERA in the American League. That's unacceptable. I mean, you got 2 open positions already for manager, with the Red Sox firing Ron Renteria and the Tigers, Ron Gardenhire becoming retired, which is nice. Ron Gardenhire's been in the game a long time. He was a hell of a manager in Minnesota. Yeah, I thought he was doing a nice job in Detroit, but he's decided his health. He's had some health issues. The COVID scared him. He's out of there, which is fine. You know, that guy really does deserve to get up on out of baseball. Very respected manager. Who would the White Sox hire? Who could you possibly bring in that's doing a better job than what Rick Renteria did? All those young guys, Tim Anderson, Johan Moncada, Lou Bob, Eloy Jimenez. You have a core of very young guys. McCann, their catcher, who does a phenomenal job with the staff and is not a bad hitter. I think he's better than acceptable major league catcher. Jose Abreu, look what Jose Abreu is doing with this right now. MVP numbers. Why would you fire the guy that's got the offense clicking? Fire the guy that's messing up the pitching staff, because he's the pitching coach and that's their fucking responsibility. Not the manager. The manager's not responsible for how fucking shitty your pitching staff is. That's the pitching coach. The Cubs have fired pitching coach after pitching coach after pitching coach because Joe Maddon said so. Well, guess what? Rick Renteria should have the say so one goddamn time. And say, let's get him the fuck up on out of here. Get rid of Don Cooper. So White Sox fans, hold your horses. Calm the fuck down, all right? Because you all are on this bunch about, oh, well, Rick Renteria needs to get fired. No, he doesn't. Rick Renteria is a hell of a manager. You guys are just are just expecting the world at this point. Give it time. This team felt like the 2015 Cubs. They felt young, and they were hungry, and they were fighting, and they were playing great baseball. Great baseball. They came up a little short. That's all it was. You faced an Oakland Athletics team that, boy, they are a good team. Would anyone be surprised if they came out of that American League? Nobody. It's a great team. It was a 3-game series. They took 2 out of 3 on you. Let's see what they do in the next round. They usually have an knack for choking. Not like the Minnesota Twins, who can't fucking win a playoff game for the fucking... Oh, my God, that pissed me off. 18 straight goddamn losses. Just give up at that point. But going a little off topic here. Chicago White Sox fans, be proud of what you got this season. The Chicago White Sox should be proud of what they became this year. You can't just come in here and rant and rave and, oh, he needs to get fired. It's stupid. It's just stupid. Let's be honest here. It's stupid. All right. I'm done with that because that's just going to keep aggravating me. Let's go into the week, NFL week 4, what to look forward to. Let's talk a little bit about week 3. Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes, who before the season, everyone's saying is the 2 best quarterbacks. I was not on the Lamar Jackson train. Has he sold me a little bit? He was. Then I watched him play Kansas City again. And boy almighty, what a bad fucking game he had. You are talking about an awful performance. You stop him from running, this kid cannot throw a football. 69 yards passing? That ain't going to get the job done in the playoffs, man. Listen, you're going to be facing some defenses. We've seen it time and time again. You get these guys who, oh, we're going to run, we're going to do this. We got all this fancy offense. And what do? They get in the playoffs, they face a good defense, and they shut them down. Cam Newton, Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson. Sooner or later, the league catches up. And the Kansas City Chiefs had a hell of a game plan against them. And Pat Mahomes walked in and said, you want to say Lamar Jackson's better than me? Watch what I do. Watch this performance. I'm going to throw for damn near 400 yards, if not topping it. I'm going to throw for 4 touchdowns. I'm going to run for a touchdown. Beat that, Lamar. I'm the best quarterback in the game. And he is. There's not an argument at all at this point of who's the best quarterback in this in football right now. It is Pat Mahomes, plain and simple. That was a great game to watch. It was very exciting. Let's talk about the Bears and Falcons. Big Dick Nick is here, and he is here to stay. I'm going to take a toast to you, Nick Foles. Thank you for coming in and saving this Bears season. Listen, Mitch Trubisky is not an NFL quarterback. Does he have the physical talents to maybe get that job done? Yes. Yes, he does. He's pretty quick on his feet. He can move around. Got a good arm. Maybe not the most accurate arm at times. Definitely not the most accurate arm at times. I'm trying to be nice here. That guy sucks. Listen, he can't read an offense. He can't read a defense. He can't audible. He can't change the plays. He is a liability at quarterback at this point. Look at that play he got picked off at. Right in the middle of the field. He's getting picked off at on the right sideline. Middle of the field, his number 1 target, Allen Robinson. Standing there wide open. Wide the fuck open. He didn't have a motherfucker around him for 5-6 yards. Picked off. You're out. You're done. That's it. We can't do this. The Anthony Miller throw right before that. Maybe not right before that, but maybe a play before, 2 plays before. Boom. Wide open end zone. Fucking misses him. Misses him by a fucking mile. The drive before. It was the drive before. Excuse me. A fucking mile. He right over the top of that motherfucker's head. What are you going to do with that? Anthony Miller made some spectacular catches once Nick Foles got in there. Why? Because they were actually catchable balls. You got to give the guys a fucking chance to put an arm out, to make a spectacular catch. You throw it 10 yards past them, it doesn't fucking matter who your wide receiver is. Randy Moss ain't catching that shit, all right? Let's be honest here. Mitch Trubisky is not an NFL quarterback, and I'll be shocked if he ever gets a starting job again, barring injuries to someone he's backing up, but he will never win another starting job. Nick Foles looked amazing in that offense. Jimmy Graham after the game was talking about how much nicer it was to be in a system where the quarterback was changing plays and he was calling audibles and was seeing things at the line. Jimmy Graham's quote is, they called a play he didn't even know was in the book. Why? Because Nick Foles could run it, Mitch Trubisky can't. If you have plays in your book that your number 2 overall drafted quarterback 4 years ago can't fucking run, get him the hell out of here. Let's find someone who can run this playbook. I'd like to see, people have been talking about, especially here in Chicago, how bad Matt Nagy is at coaching. He's a great head coach. I don't know if he's a good offensive coordinator at this point. Why? Because he's had Mitch Trubisky. He's been just dying to have a quarterback that can run his shit. Well, now he does. Let's see what he calls. Let's see what he does. That's all I'm saying on that. Big Dick Nick is here for the future. On the flip side of that, Dan Quinn, how the fuck does this son of a bitch have a job? How? Who is hiring? Who is in Atlanta right now that thinks that this guy's fucking the guy? 5th year? What has he done? Blown the Super Bowl in historic fashion? Blown games in historic fashion? 99% chance to win. 2 weeks in a row, fucking loses them. How is he still the coach? When the Bears beat him, he wouldn't have been allowed in my locker room. I would have told him, get the fuck out of here. You're done, buddy. There is no more, this and that. Fuck out of here. You're done. It's over. Okay? Get him out of town. You got 2 guys. You're the OC and the DC. Either one could be the next head coach. I would pick the defensive coordinator. I think Raheem Morris could be a hell of a head coach. Been around the game a while, has coached on both sides of the ball. That's something that you don't see too much. Been around the game 15, 16 years now. Man, he's been in a lot of NFL locker rooms. I'd like to see Raheem Morris get that job. If they go with Dirk Carter, just butchered the fuck out of that name. Dirk Carter, the OC. If they go with the OC, fuck that guy. I wouldn't be mad at that either. He's had some, he's been an OC for a while. Good coaching experience. Been in the league for about damn near 20 years as well. Can't go wrong either one. Dan Quinn needs to be gone. You can't just keep blowing games like that. It's no good, Big Hoss. Let me tell you that. All right, Thursday Night Football just ended. Awful game, as I expected. The 2 great coordinators at that point. They're both great coordinators. Vic Fangio might be the best defensive coordinator in the game. That's saying something. Adam Gase, I think, is a hell of an offensive coordinator, just a bad head coach. They're both bad head coaches. Let's be real here. Neither one of them are a head coach. There's a difference between being a coordinator and a head coach, and they just don't have head coach potential. That's what I'm seeing. Tonight's game, Sam Darnold looked bad again. He's looked bad a lot. It is what it is. Denver had the new kid was starting. He looked bad. He got picked off 3 times. You just can't have that. If Adam Gase, he was already on the hot seat, I think, after that game. He's gone. You got to fire him. Get him out of there. I'd fire his OC too. I'd fire Dow Loggins. If I was Joe Douglas, I'd have them gone. I'd fire both of them. Dow Loggins I don't think has ever proven to anyone that he's a good offensive coordinator. Adam Gase, certainly not a good head coach. You want to be an offensive coordinator, that's great. You're a good offensive coordinator. You're not a head coach. If I was them, I'd move Jim Bob Cooter. up to OC. He's their wide receivers coach right now, or running backs coach. Running backs coach. He's a running backs coach. I'd move him up to OC. He's had OC experience. He did a nice job in Detroit at times. I'd like to see what he could do. I'd move him up to the offensive coordinator, and I'd make Greg Williams your head coach, because Greg Williams has done a very nice job as interim head coach with the Browns, with the Saints. He's done a very nice job. Gives you time. You can still lose this season. If you're done with Sam Darnold, that's fine. Go get Trevor Lawrence. You want to lose out, get Trevor Lawrence. That's fine, but you got to get out of there. You got to get Adam Gase up on out of there, and you got to do it soon, because God, it was hard to watch that team today. It was hard to watch that team tonight, man. They were bad. All right, let's look at the games to watch this weekend. There's a few on the doctorate that are very interesting to me. You got the Los Angeles Clippers. The Los Angeles Chargers. I put LAC on my... it's still so weird to me to see the San Diego fucking Chargers, all right? They're the San Diego goddamn Chargers. They should have never left San Diego. I'm going to get on a rant about that. Look, you got the Chargers. You got Tampa Bay. Tom Brady... Is he showing his age? Yes. Is that team clicking on all cylinders? Not yet. That defense is. That defense is real good. That defense is really good. They're fun to watch. Tom Brady and the gang, they're starting to kind of get moving and cooking. They're scoring some points. They're getting the wheels chugging and churning. We'll see what they can do. I'm really looking forward to Justin Herbert. He has played very well. Very well. That kid's looking great. And the Chargers have played pretty well, man. Don't forget what they did with KC a couple weeks back. They damn near won that game. That was a great game. Interesting game there. The next one on my doctorate, Minnesota and Houston. Let's see if Houston can turn that season around. Because Houston is having... 2018, they went 0-3. They end up being 11-5. They're having a weird season. They face some tough competition. If they can't beat Minnesota, though, we're in trouble. Because Minnesota... is not a good team this year. Kirk Cousins is not a good quarterback anymore. That guy, I thought he was a hell of a pick when they got him, and boy was I wrong, because man is he bad. He has been really bad in Minnesota, and that's making that contract look awful. Minnesota, especially this year, he's looked bad this year. I'd like to see what Lamar Jackson can do. Deshaun Watson could do. My fault. Deshaun Watson, they need to win that game. If they win that game, get some momentum going. He is missing Hopkins. He is missing Hopkins so much. David Johnson, that trade is going to look really bad as the season goes on. David Johnson is a okay running back. He ain't the David Johnson I was running for damn near 2,000 yards a couple years ago. I'll tell you that. The next game on here, Cleveland and Dallas. I think that's going to be an interesting game. Dallas has played very good football. Very good football. The Seahawks were just too much for them to handle. And that, you know what? When you have Russell Wilson putting up 5 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns, it's going to be hard. That team is so good. That Seahawks team is great. But Dallas, good team. Cleveland, I want to see if they're for real. Let's see what that run team can do, man. Let's see what that run game can do. Let's see if Baker Mayfield can do some things. Let's see if they can walk into into Dallas and take a win. Because that'd be a very impressive win if they can pull that one off. The next one, Indianapolis, Chicago. I think that's going to be an interesting game. I would like to see what Big Dick Nick is going to do. Nick Foles and Matt Nagy, I'd like to see what that play call's looking like. Especially against that Indianapolis defense, who's been extremely good this year. That defense came out of nowhere for me. Been very good. I like Indianapolis. I like Chicago in that matchup, but that's a game. That's a coin toss for me. Jacksonville and Cincinnati. Let's see if Burrow can get that first win. Came so close against the Eagles. End up in a tie. I'd love to see what he can do against Jacksonville. Gardner Minshew has been playing very well. I'm tired of people talking about Gardner Minshew is not an NFL starter. He has shown that he is. I think if you get some talent around him, he could be something. 6th round pick. Guess who else was a 6th round pick? What do people consider the GOAT? The guy who, Tom Brady right there in Tampa Bay. 6th round pick. Gardner Minshew, 6th round pick. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying you can find a starting quarterback, if not a great starting quarterback, in the late rounds. Not all the time, but it has happened. Gardner Minshew might be the next one there. Next game is Buffalo at Las Vegas. is Las Vegas for real, man? They played awesome against the Saints 2 weeks ago. Didn't look so good in their last game. They, Buffalo, man, Josh Allen, that whole team is just cooking, man. That team is good. Really good. I like this matchup. I'd like to see what goes on with that. And then, especially it's in the Death Star, man. I'm all in on that. I need to go to Vegas. I need to check out a game there. That stadium looks beautiful. I'd love to check out a game there. I'll probably be in Vegas next fall, next winter, checking out a game there. I'd need to go. Philly and San Francisco. In San Francisco, can Philadelphia win a game? Especially against this very hurt San Francisco team. San Francisco looked very good against the Giants. But that's the Giants. I mean, anyone in the NFL could probably look good against the Giants. The Giants and the Jets both are no good. They got them 2 straight weeks, got very beat up, got very injured, won both of those games. Let's see what the Eagles can do. The Eagles have to win this game. If the Eagles walk into San Francisco and lose this game to basically a backup team, you have to start reevaluating a lot of things in Philadelphia. That quarterback situation, do you bring in Jalen Hurts? Do you think that could be the answer? Do you start looking at maybe some coaching firings? Because Philadelphia has not performed since the Bears quarterback, Big Dick Nick, took him to the Super Bowl and won that. I'm just saying. Super Bowl winning quarterback. Last time the Bears had that was 1987. This is the last time the Bears had a Super Bowl winning quarterback on their roster. That's how long it's been. That's why I'm so excited for Nick Foles. But I'd like to check that game out. That's been it for this episode. I hope you all enjoy the weekend. Have a great time watching the NFL games. We'll catch you next week. Don Pookie Claus. That was just Pookie's perspective. Signing out.